morning. So, situation. About 75 miles to go. I'm in Buckingham, and I've just had a coffee in Costa's, and I use their facilities as well. And I just want to show you this sky. It's incredible. Yes, so overnight felt a bit rough, to be perfectly honest. It's also been pretty cold, and some sort of banks of fog. I mean, as I came up the hills here, there was a couple of banks. With everybody rushing to work, I must admit I was a little bit worried. I haven't seen anybody all night. But yeah, so I reckon I'll finish between 1:30 and 2. Give me about 6 hours, 6.5 hours in hand. I was a lot further ahead on the way out, but as you will have seen by the other video clips, let's just say my route planning wasn't that great. Well, it was actually. It's absolutely fantastic. And that sounds like I'm blowing my own trumpet a little bit. If it was intentional, I could kind of I'd go, yeah, perhaps I am. But I came across an off-road section of Wimpole Hall, and it's a national trust place. And I noticed the gate was locked. Well, it looked like it was locked. I didn't try it, to be honest. I don't feel comfortable going through a National Trust property at 11:30 at night. So decided I'd go round. So I looked on the map. Well, that's not a problem. There's a bit of a loop I can do. Won't have too much on, maybe half a mile at most. The problem was it was only about 500 feet. Anyway, I got about halfway up, and noticed there was this cycle trail. Oh, that's good. I'll do that. That looks as if it's going to cut across to the main road. So I think I'm probably the only person that's done Wimpole Hall's mountain bike trails with a saddleback at 11:30 at night. It was absolutely brilliant. I did have to have a bit of a chuckle, you know, at the absurdity of it all. But yeah, it was pretty good, and it wasn't that rough. It was absolutely fine. It was just that sort of gravelly stuff, you know. It's but for sort of novices and that, it's absolutely perfectly fine. Sort of there's your cycling. Anyway, I'm going to move on now, and so I'll speak to you later. A rather splendid sunrise this morning. I don't think this camera does it much justice, really. It's a bit too far away, but yeah. So I'm just a couple of miles outside of Buckingham now. Would I do this route again? Probably not, to be honest. Box ticked. Lower stop is a nice decent town. There's nothing wrong with it, but I typed in the half an hour, 3/4 an hour I was there. There wasn't anything to draw me back for a second time. I've done the tested 500 a couple of times. It seems a bit better when there's other people suffering as well. You know what I mean? Share the pain. Road out of Buckingham was pleasant, not. It was absolutely busy with commuters, as you'd expect. We got a close pass by a guy in a welfare unit van. Right, okay. Gets up the road and realised where he's working. They're HS2, where they're building it. So I was in my mind, I was kind of like a bit of a laugh at his expense, to be honest. You know, driving around with a couple of toilets in the back of a van full of your mate's turds. I'd be bitter as well if that's what life had given me. Yeah. Anyway, the road itself, the road surface was shocking, and basically it was at one point it would have been, well, it still was, concrete slabs with expansion joints, and the council's come along and done a cheap ass upgrade. They've just put tarmac over the top of it. So then the expansion joints have done their thing and they've expanded, and the tarmac's dropped down in the gap. So then it can't close back up again. So you get this bump, bump, bump. I've done for 4.5 miles. Anyway. This road's busier than I was expecting as well. I think the school run is on because there's a school village back there. Give you a bit of a progress report, to be honest, because I've been talking rubbish and just forgotten the important stuff. So, got 100k to go, and I've got 11.5 hours to do it in. So I should be alright as long as I don't hang around too much. And to be honest, I don't really want to be still out at 8:30 tonight, so bit of an incentive. To get it done now, really. Wow, that guy clipped the curb twice, and I don't think it was his driving, it's this road. Do you know what? The guy I was talking about right there, putting the paint in the road, and I've never seen subsidence in the middle of the road before, because it really was. It was like a trench in the middle. I really need to dig it out and do it again. I've done it again, Dad. So yeah, this is a bridleway. I can see the road over there, or tarmacs. Yeah, get done without this really, if I'm honest. But it is what it is. All part of the adventure. Still winning. Still winning. Especially as I drop the bike back because of the weight in the saddlebag on the grass. You don't do it quite right. I'm going to get one. Well, back on the tarmac. Felt a bit sorry actually for the bridleway. ended up I had to walk across somebody's lawn. And it wasn't me taking the mick, it really was the bridleway. Yeah, it's a bit total strangers walking through your garden. They're probably used to it, I should imagine. Anyway, I've got wet feet now. It's the kind of the heavy dew of all the fog overnight, which seems to have disappeared pretty quick, so that's good. So this is Brill Windmill, and sadly there's not much of a view today because it's a bit misty, but you know, just slogged my way up here, and I'm not going to walk around it. It looks like there's a path you can go up there and have a good close look, but I don't have the footwear on me, so this will be as close as I get. I'm not sure how much of my previous clip actually was recorded because the battery went flat, which ain't bad actually, because it's lasted nearly, well, this is the third day, so not bad. Anyway, I was saying, you know, this is now my second ever longest ride. It's not going to be pretty, it's not going to be fast. One hell of an adventure, and I absolutely loved it. Although I did question it a few times with the off-road bit, especially the one round the building floor. That was well, yeah. Wasn't really sure where I was, and I was just coming along the lane here. This all looks a bit familiar. And the last time I came along here was in 2019 on the Festive 500. And this stretch here in front of me, this was flooded, and there was a Vauxhall Astra stranded in the middle of it. I've got a photograph somewhere. I'll insert it. I'm just on the south side of Oxford now, and I'm on this diversion. It reminds me of those Karamak Easter eggs you used to get when you were kids. The colour of it. But they're doing some work, and they've diverted it up here, which is cool. For some reason there's some traffic lights over there. Where I find out that I need to cross over to the other side. Oh no, I'm alright. You. So I managed to cross over, and of course I was on the wrong side. No problem, I'll cross back. And done now at the crossing, waiting to cross over. There's like a refuge in the middle, you know. Two cars go by, HGV goes by. Second HGV basically slams the anchors on and stops and waves me across. And I'm like, I wasn't expecting that. So I looked behind the lorry, and the two cars behind, like emergency braking job. And I'm like, oh, here we go. It's going to be a bit awkward here. But no, they pulled up, and I waved at the driver. He was on Hungarian number plate. So goulash, mate, goulash. It's proper raining now, so rain jacket's gonna have to go on. That's a shame. Oh well. Anyway, I'm just a couple of miles outside Fairford. Oh, hello. I've just come through Tetbury. It's a bit of rush hour now, so I didn't stop in there. And I'm just going up Chevenage Lane. It's a bit of a drag all the way up to the A46, so it's a few miles like that. It's not steep, but it's just a drag. And then we've got the Hidden Valley, so I look forward to that. And then it's across the top and then drop down there, Foster Hill. And we're home, so starting to get excited now. But my hands are absolutely in bits, just from holding the bars for so long. And earlier on I was able to do a few little exercises which relieved, but even those aren't working anymore, you know, they're just constantly aching, you know. Anyway, I'll speak to you in a little while. Well, I managed to embarrass myself, let's just put it that way. It's a little narrow lane, a bit, you know, like this. And guy in a van came down, so I waited so he could get by. And the edge of the tarmac is higher than the verge. Of course, I hit the tarmac, the bike stopped dead and I just toppled over. So I had to pick myself up off the floor. No damage done, just a bit embarrassing really. So this is the top of the well, I call it hidden, whatever, call it whatever you want really. And this is the A46 here. Takes you to Bath to the right and straight to the left. Oh, you made me jump. Anyway, this is what I call the Hidden Valley. And well, as you can see, it's a valley, but it's just so peaceful, it's just lovely. You know, you wouldn't think that we're just up the road from Nailsworth, bustling market town. We've got the A46 half a mile away, you can't hear that either, and it's just a nice little place to come through, you know. The only downside is what, don't know if you can see it on this camera, is that climb out. And I've got to go and do that in a minute. Oh, my mummy. Well then folks, I'm going to wrap the video up here. If you've made it this far, well done. I would say I'll give you a crackerjack pen or something, but you know, they don't exist anymore. Showing me age there. Yeah, so I've had a fantastic trip. It's been really, really good. You know, from start to finish, it's tested me in quite a lot of ways. The first test came with that tyre, lasted me 5 miles. And yeah, and another test was like the off-road stuff, you know, knock it on the head this time of year, because you can't ride it on a road bike. Basically. And the big lesson is if the urge gets you that you want to do a long one in the winter or autumn or early spring, book a B&B. Don't do what I did, just got a bivvy bag and found it was too cold. To make it comfortable, I would have needed a decent sleeping bag and change of clothes and all that sort of thing. And you know, I've just had cat naps, and it just wasn't enough. And I think that's why I toppled over about there. You know, I found that my concentration's starting to go, so I'm, you know, blowing raspberries at the sheep and stuff like that, just to give me a bit of mental stimulation. Anyway, I've rambled far too much, and I might have a couple of weekends off now. I'm going to have a bit of a break, So I'll see you in the near future. Thank you.